Everybody's got a different idea of like what I should do.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, you should just leave him and he'll fight you. Or some people are like, the more you talk, less he wants to fight you. I'm just like...
Jon Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best.
Everything went amazing. I understand my position now. I understand what the company's doing now. And you got to stay tuned, my friend, because there's some big news coming.
Tom Aspinall has stated that the fight is set. UFC President Dana White has given it the green light, and the organization is moving quickly toward what could be its biggest heavyweight showdown in years. However, Jon Jones has yet to officially confirm the bout, raising questions about what might be causing the delay. Aspinall remains confident that everything is already in place and expects an official announcement soon. Still, speculation continues, with some pointing to financial negotiations, while others suspect more complex factors could be involved.
Well, I can tell you some stuff about the money situation, but I'm not sure I can say it on camera, so I will tell you that after. I think I'm a bad matchup for him, to be honest.
Despite the ongoing uncertainty, Tom Aspinall responded to questions about the situation with calm and honesty, suggesting that there may be more happening behind the scenes than the public realizes. While he acknowledges Jon Jones's perspective and the complexities involved, Aspinall remains focused on his ultimate goal: capturing the title and proving that he is the top heavyweight in the world.
I honestly can see Jon's point of view. Yep. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matters. So, yeah, I get it completely. Get his point of view. Get what everybody's saying. Completely understand.
Tom Aspinall's journey to the top of the heavyweight division isn't just built on natural talent. It's fueled by unwavering dedication and discipline. Training alongside some of the best fighters from around the globe, he's immersed in an environment where only the highest standards are accepted. The intense competition in his gym pushes him to stay focused, keep improving, and never settle for anything less than his best.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying. It's tough sometimes, especially. But you know what? Again, I'm really lucky with the team and stuff. Is that we're in a spot now where guys come to me when they've got a fight coming up.
Yeah.
So like they're in training camp because we have international guys coming as well.
Yeah.
We have like a couple of Croatian guys. We have a couple of guys coming from all different places. And they're coming to me when they're in training camp, and I'm like, look, if I ain't on the ball, they're gonna kick me out.
That same mindset goes beyond the sparring sessions. Tom Aspinall's dedication doesn't stop when training ends. He's a true student of mixed martial arts, constantly studying top-level fighters to fine-tune his own skill set. One move that's particularly influenced him comes from Justin Gaethje, a blend of timing, power, and relentless pressure. Aspinall believes mastering those kinds of details is essential when preparing to face a legend like Jon Jones.
One of my favourite techniques that Gaethje uses is he doesn't just use the calf kick. He uses the running, kicking the soccer ball calf kick, where he'll start from here and just launch into it and absolutely blast them.
Here's 70. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's... You can feel it, yeah. Ready? 70. Let's do 80. Ooh, yeah, painful. Okay, I'm about to take the hardest kick. Let's get to it. Come on. No. Oh, yeah. My turn, please. I love it.
With Tom Aspinall currently holding the interim heavyweight title, some fans have wondered why he hasn't returned to the octagon sooner. However, according to Aspinall, it's not as straightforward as just scheduling a fight. He clarified that while he's ready and eager to compete, the UFC has its own timeline, and he's waiting on them to decide the next step.
Well, first of all, I want to be undisputed champ because I feel like I deserve a shot at it. That being said, I'm also a professional fighter and I'm not fighting at the moment. That isn't really my fault though. That's more to do with the UFC. They really, really want to make the fight with me and Jon Jones. for me, I'm not bothered if I fight Jon or not really. It'd be a good bonus if I can beat him, that I'd beat the best of all time, that people say that he's the person who's the best of all time, but I want to fight, man. But that isn't really up to me.
As conversations around the heavyweight division intensify, UFC President Dana White remains firm on the matchup he believes must happen. With fans demanding clarity and blockbuster fights in 2025, Dana made no hesitation when asked which showdown tops his wish list for the year.
So I get asked this every year, and this year it would be Aspinall Jones. That's the biggest fight in heavyweight history. And at the end of the day, what my job is to give the fans what they want.
Tom Aspinall has never shied away from his reputation for quick finishes, but behind those early knockouts lies a deeper desire to truly test himself. Reflecting on his bout with Curtis Blades last year, Tom shared that he was fully prepared to go into the later rounds and prove his endurance. Now, with a potential clash against Jon Jones on the horizon, the challenge feels even greater. For Aspinall, it's no longer just about winning. It's about pushing his limits against one of the greatest fighters in MMA history.
His coach said in the build-up, we're going to drag him into deep water, we're going to drag him to the later rounds. So I was preparing myself for the later rounds, you know what I mean? That was me. I was going slow in there, man. That wasn't me trying to knock him out at all. I never looked for the finish. I was like, they're saying they're going to drag me into deep water. I'm going to look in the camera and say, somebody drag me into deep water. I'm telling you, I want to feel what it's like. I want to see if I can swim or not. Jon Jones, if you can drag me there, take me there. Because right now, all these guys are saying it, but no one can do it.
The potential showdown between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones has MMA fans buzzing, with speculation mounting over how the fight might unfold. One respected voice weighing in is Paddy Pimblett, who not only knows Tom personally, but has followed Jon Jones's legendary career closely. When asked about the matchup, Paddy offered a candid and thoughtful take, sharing his insights on who he believes holds the edge and why.
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
As talks about a potential Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall clash continue without official confirmation, frustration is beginning to build across the MMA community. Fans and fighters alike are growing restless, eager for clarity. UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping recently shared his thoughts on the situation, questioning Jon Jones's intentions. According to Bisping, if Jon isn't serious about stepping into the octagon, then he owes it to the sport and the fans to be honest about it.
And that's great for him. That's all well and good. But if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, then you have an obligation to the sport, to the fans, to the other fighters in the division. Yeah, live your life. And if you are somewhat retired, just be honest and come out and say it. Obviously, Dana has been very adamant that that fight's going ahead. So I think maybe it's Jon just messing with Tom psychologically because, you know, he's a master of his craft and he knows what he's doing. But if he's not doing that and he has no intention of fighting and he's just stringing it out for a while because he wants to hang on to the belt, then that's appalling, to be quite frank, you know.
As the conversation around a potential Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall showdown intensifies, even MMA legends are weighing in on the risks involved. Former UFC champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson recently offered his perspective on why this fight poses a serious challenge for Jones. Speaking with the sharp eye of an analyst, Johnson highlighted Aspinall's rare combination of speed, explosiveness, and unpredictability, qualities that make him a nightmare matchup for even the most seasoned fighters.
It's a huge risk.
Yeah.
It's a huge risk. You're younger, you're athletic, you hit hard, you pose problems. We don't have much data on you, meaning that we don't know what happens if you do. And this is me speaking from an analyst and like my experience in MMA. Like if I was to fight Tom Aspinall, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, he's very fast, very athletic, light on his toes. Okay, he blitzes across the void. So if he gets across the void, can I take that shot? A lot of people have not been able to take that shot. So if he gets across that void and I get hit, I might go down. That happens, you become the biggest star ever. You just slayed the GOAT.
As talks of potentially stripping Jon Jones due to inactivity continue to swirl, many are left wondering what this means for the heavyweight division and for Tom Aspinall. Even if Jones is eventually removed from the throne, his shadow still looms large over the division and over Aspinall himself. For Tom, the real validation isn't just holding the belt. It comes from defeating the man who has long been the
You can strip Jones, but you can't take the credit away from him. Still gonna be behind the scenes laughing. He's still gonna be behind the scenes. You still didn't get through me. You can fight whoever you want. Down in your heart, you know I'm the real contender. Tom Aspinall, you know this was the dream fight to make. You know this was the real challenge. You know this was keeping you up at night. You know this was the vanilla make or break moment. This was not the define me moment, but realize where am I at in the game? Am I the beast? Can I tame the beast? Take down beast? Can I take down the lion?
As excitement builds around a potential clash between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, some of the sport's biggest voices are weighing in. Among them is Joe Rogan, known for his deep analysis and passion for MMA. Rogan didn't hold back in describing just how special Aspinall is and what makes this matchup with Jones one of the most intriguing fights in UFC history.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler, his everything, and he's young. Put the Tabora one. Look how fast he moves in. I mean, that guy's so fast. Yeah. He moves like a 175-pounder. He doesn't move like a 250-pound guy.
So what happens when Aspinall fights Jon Jones?
There's some guys, they're just blessed. And then with Jon, it's blessed and his mind. He's not going to lose. He's going to find a way to get you. And he's going to do it clever. He's not going to point the center of the octagon. Let's go right here. We'll stand right here. Never going to happen with Jon Jones. You're getting knees to the gut. You're getting your knees kicked, laced up with elbows where your head's bleeding. He's going to slowly dismantle you and find a way to submit you. But can he do that with a guy like Aspinall, who's a legit 255-pound natural?
As the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall saga continues to dominate headlines, even former champions are starting to chime in on what's going on behind the scenes. Daniel Cormier, who knows better than most what it's like to negotiate massive UFC fights, recently addressed Joe Rogan's explosive claim about Jones's financial demands for the potential heavyweight showdown.
That has already made its way into 2025, and I think that speaks to how anticipated this fight is Jones versus Aspinall. But the latest update in that situation comes from Joe Rogan, speaking about what he says that Jones wants and what he thinks is going to happen in regards to that ask. So Joe Rogan was on his podcast the other day speaking about the Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall situation.
While Joe Rogan recently claimed that Jon Jones is demanding a massive payday to fight Tom Aspinall, Daniel Cormier stepped in to provide some personal perspective on just how huge that figure really is. Drawing from his own experience at the top of the UFC food chain, DC broke it down.
And he said Jon Jones said he wants $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. I'll tell you guys right now, as a person that has been involved in big fights, a person that has sold pay-per-views, a person that at his time was at the top of the pay scale in the UFC as the heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. $30 million was literally a world away from anything we were making. I remember when I got paid in New York, I got like a big bump to take a fight on 3 weeks' notice, which ultimately became my salary, and people were astounded.
The anticipation for the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight was at its peak just a few months ago, with fans eager to witness the heavyweight showdown finally take place. However, recent developments suggest the momentum has slowed, partly due to Jon Jones's activities and distractions outside the octagon. Chael Sonnen recently shed light on this, highlighting how Jones's behavior outside the cage might be affecting the fight's progress.
Jones and Aspinall was not only hotter 3 months ago, it was hotter than that 5 months ago, and it is coming to an almost crawl. Jon Jones was in Thailand, and he's on the back of a motorcycle, and he'd been out partying. It was actually good that he was on the back of a motorcycle, right? And he says something about Aspinall, and 2 days before that, John's in a photo with Nate Diaz. Now, If you could ever make money in the fight business, get Jon Jones and Nate Diaz on a poster together.
Former light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill shared his perspective, balancing respect with realism regarding Jon Jones stepping up to the challenge.
Well, if Jon Jones has taught us anything, you can never count him out. You never count him out no matter what the challenge is, no matter what. He's always risen to the occasion and risen to that challenge and perform exponentially. So I think that it'll be a good fight. I believe it'll be a good fight. I believe it'll probably be one of the harder fights and harder challenges that Jon has had in his career. So, I mean, it's all about if he wants to challenge himself like that or not.
Before Sif Saud praised Tom Aspinall as a scary and athletic fighter, many experts and fighters had already been discussing how important and challenging a potential bout between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall would be. They acknowledged Jon Jones's intelligence and experience in the cage, but also highlighted Tom's speed and power as key threats.
Tom Aspinall is just a scary dude, man. I think he is the new breed of heavyweight with his speed, the size, his boxing. I mean, his double leg, his jiu-jitsu on the ground. Aspinall is a beast. And I know why Jon Jones is being smart about that, because that would be his biggest threat, absolutely. And he's older, you know. Aspinall's younger and quick. Aspinall's very fast.
Building on his praise for Aspinall's all-around skill set, Sif Saud then pointed out the real reason this matchup is so dangerous for Jon Jones: Aspinall's rare blend of speed, power, and fight IQ. His ability to adapt in real time makes him a unique threat, even to someone as experienced as Jones. This insight sparked even more excitement and curiosity among fans, eager to see how such a high-stakes clash would unfold.
He's got really fast hands and very good reaction timing. I mean, that's a hard fight. And I'm not saying that, you know, you can't really ever bet against Jon at this point. You got to kind of give him his respect. But I just think that would be Jon Jones' hardest fight. And I think that, you know, Aspinall is one of the most athletic heavyweights. No doubt about it.
Even respected MMA journalists are beginning to question how the UFC is managing the situation. For many, keeping Jon Jones as champion despite his inactivity sends the wrong message, especially with a surging contender like Tom Aspinall waiting in the wings. Veteran journalist Gareth A. Davies echoed that concern, openly criticizing the UFC's delay and calling for more urgency and fairness in addressing the heavyweight division's future.
I mean, because when the Stipe Miocic fight was a goodbye fight for Miocic, wasn't it? It was a name on the resume.
I can understand making it in 2023. Can't understand making it in 2024.
Yeah, it did. It was odd. It was odd because by then Tom Aspinall was the resurgent, or was the ascendant heavyweight in the division. It's a massive fight. The longer Jon Jones leaves it, the worse for him. Because Aspinall's growing the whole time.
While many believe Tom Aspinall could pose the greatest threat to Jon Jones's legendary career, others continue to place their faith in the veteran's unmatched experience. UFC featherweight Chase Hooper offered a more measured perspective, leaning toward Jones's elite fight IQ and proven durability as key factors that could carry him through such a high-stakes matchup.
I mean, Jon's he's on the way out. I still think he gets it done, though. He's just so savvy, and I think he'll be able to maybe deny the wrestling and honestly just kind of outpoint him. I don't think it'll be a super fun fight, but I think it'll be another win for Jon Jones.
While some believe Jon Jones is delaying the Tom Aspinall fight out of fear or strategic caution, others see it from a different angle. Analysts like Chael Sonnen, who has followed Jones's career closely for over a decade and has often been one of his toughest critics, are now pushing back against the fear narrative. Sonnen believes Jones is intentionally playing a psychological game with the heavyweight division, using mind games and timing to maintain control and keep opponents off balance.
I would love to use this as an opportunity to be my usual self towards Jon. I just don't buy that Jon Jones is afraid to fight somebody. I just don't buy that he's going to let him take the belt away. I don't buy that he's made enough money that he can walk away. I don't think it's even an option. I think that he's got to fight, and I think that that's just fine, but I'm sharing with you that I think you're right. I think he's having a little bit of fun with them, and who knows how far he'll take it.
While some believe Jon Jones's legacy gives him the edge, others detect a sense of hesitation in his approach to this particular matchup. One of those voices is surging bantamweight contender Christian Rodriguez, who offered a balanced yet revealing perspective. Rodriguez acknowledged Jones's greatness, but suggested that the uncertainty around the fight with Tom Aspinall might point to deeper doubts, whether about preparation, timing, or the danger Aspinall presents.
Jones is still, I think, one of the greatest fighters ever. I mean, what he did to Stipe. It's a tough fight. I think Jones is kind of avoiding it for a reason. I think obviously he wants more money, but I think there's a reason why he's also trying to avoid it.
Some fighters believe Jon Jones will win because of his unmatched experience, but others are putting their faith in the new generation of heavyweights. One of them is Jai Herbert, who is proudly backing his fellow Brit, Tom Aspinall. Herbert praised Aspinall's athleticism, speed, and fight IQ, saying he represents the evolution of the heavyweight division and has the tools to dethrone a legend. Like Jones.
I'm saying Aspinall, man. I'm biased, obviously, because he's from England, isn't he? But I'm saying Aspinall, man. He's like, I think he's the speed in that for a heavyweight. He's just rapid, man. And yeah, he's just so quick for a heavyweight, and his hands in that lick, and he's like a real big heavyweight as well. You know what I mean? Strong. He's got good grappling. His wrestling defense is real good as well. So I'm saying Tom Aspinall.
This fight isn't just about two top heavyweights clashing in the octagon. It's about the future of the entire division. Jon Jones, arguably the greatest fighter of all time, stands at a crossroads. Opposite him is Tom Aspinall, the surging force who's been tearing through opponents with speed, power, and precision. The stakes couldn't be higher. If the deal is truly done and the fight becomes official, we're looking at a showdown that could define the UFC heavyweight landscape for years to come. Jones brings experience, legacy, and a near-perfect record. Aspinall brings youth, hunger, and a new wave of athleticism that could change everything. But with reports that Jon Jones is asking for $30 million to take the fight, and the UFC still holding off on the official announcement, fans are left wondering, will this fight finally happen, or will negotiations stall once again?